Why do we care how many dresses you were wearing anyways?
No, it's not. No, you watched the movie 27 Dresses.
Oh, I thought
That's
was
a movie?
show.
Yes,
That's
it's a
a movie?
movie. It's like a really cliche chick flick, but it's really good.
Okay.
What's the TV show? Isn't that like...
Are we recording now?
Yes.
Trevor.
That's like Bridevillas. Shout out to Bridevillas.
Alright, hey guys, this is us here.
Yay, post video!
Woo!
Alright, I know that she already said my name, but I don't care. My alias name is Takumi. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Sorry about that.
the woman from my Fruits Basket review over here.
I'm a woman. That's right. Yeah, I'm Chitose. Hello.
And I was in his 11 Eyes review.
First ever review.
Island City.
Yeah. That's such a
good.
unique name.
I know.
Like, how'd
Where
you
did we
come
come
up
up with these aliases?
Found
Well,
it in a book.
we know about mine, but where the heck did...
I heard
Anyway, that's another topic that we'll talk about later. So, a little quick preface to this review here. I just want a brief summary of what we all thought of Angel Beats. I know for a fact that I liked it quite a lot, but I thought it could have been a lot better. What about you guys?
It made me laugh really, really, really hard at some times, and then it made me cry really, really hard. But I don't know, it was like really, really sad, but like sort of happy at the same time, you know, because they finally get what they want sort of in the end, but it's still sad because they get obliterated and stuff, but...
It was kind of lighthearted of a show. It was...
like bittersweet.
It was a mixed bag of emotion, and we're just keeping Mr. I. We're keeping Mr. I out of this discussion, so...
Well, I mean, I was bored one day, so I decided it'd be a fun show to watch. So I did. And then I watched all of it in one day and cried at the end, which was like at 1 a.m. So yay! I kind of
clapping.
That is the best. That is the best story ever.
Yep.
That's gonna be the highlight of this review. I can just tell.
Yes.
All right, now give me that sheet, cause who's starting off? Nah, that's right, you. Anyway.
I'm just
Oh wait,
gonna
it is
call
me.
you Mr.
I looked right at the characters. My bad.
Okay.
Because it's
Alright.
so hard to say.
Plot. The plot of Angel Beats is basically Purgatory High School.
What does purgatory mean?
Purgatory is basically where all the souls wander aimlessly.
Okay, got it. Cool.
It's a sad existence.
Basically. Okay, so anyway,
No
in
context clues.
in this Purgatory High School, it is what.
I'm sorry, keep going.
In this Purgatory High School, we have our main character, Otanashi, who gets randomly thrown in this world and wakes up. And in front of him, he sees a girl, Yuripi, holding a sniper rifle, trying to shoot a girl with white hair, whom she refers to as Angel. And then Yuripi tells Otanashi that they are all dead in this world. And so, in order to prove it, he walks up to the angel lady, and she stabs him point blank in the chest. After this, he wakes up in the school's infirmary, and ultimately gets killed again, because, you know, why not?
By, gosh, what was his name? The other guy
No
with the
one
blue
knows
hair
his
who's got
name.
the hots for Yuri.
Mr. Axe Guy.
He's the guy on top, below plot, I believe.
No, that's
no,
Hinata.
Okay.
Oh, hey, you actually know that guy's name.
Yeah, I do,
no,
because he was my favorite.
I don't remember any of these characters' names.
Baseball guy.
Yeah, he was the baseball guy.
All around, I really, really liked the plot of Angel Beats. I felt that it could have gone away from high school and have been just as emotional. Because, you know, the character backstories were basically a metaphorical, emotional baseball bat that hit you over the head repeatedly. But, hey, that's just me. And up next is Mr. I.
Mr. I. Okay. Well, in this anime, there was, I guess a lot of elements consisting of, like, action, romance, had some comedy in there, some sadness.
Some sadness.
There was a lot of sadness. This anime took my crying first, I don't know. This is the anime that I cried at the end of for the first time in my life.
He still hasn't seen
Yeah.
Clanad.
I haven't. I will. But yeah. So I think that let's talk about the romance aspect first.
Okay,
Well,
got all day.
three main characters, right? There's kind of a love thing going on, but it's like it doesn't really happen. And then it's like
It half exists.
Like the second part, it's like builds up, but then like the first half, it's just like not there, and you wish it was there.
Yeah.
Because we all know it's gonna be there.
The romance is sort of just some extra thing that's sort of halfway there and halfway not. It's like, it's not. It doesn't focus on it really.
It's not
just
completely there. It's just kind of a side plot that's just swept under the curtain until they thought, oh hey, we still have this romance.
Voila!
It's just like we have
Confetti.
teenage characters, high school. What do you get when you mix those two? Romance. But then it's like we already have a bunch of guns drawn out. How's this gonna work?
So
Let's just pull
basically-
Sword Art Online and just mix it all up together and just hope it works.
Yeah.
Even though this came out before SAO.
Hipster angel beats.
Basically.
Okay. Well, we're trying to compare it to some other shows. It sort of depends. I'm not really very good at comparing a lot of shows to others because I feel like they're very unique within their own way.
You're fired.
I'm sorry. Shush. But anyways, it does have a lot of action, and I honestly thought it was like really, really, really funny. Takumi mentioned a while ago before we actually started recording that he sort of thought about Sword Art Online, and that does have a lot of action. It has the like sort of hint of romance that's sort of there, and
Actually does get a relatively major focus towards the middle of the show, but I
Okay.
already did a review on that, so just go watch that. Self-plugging.
Woo. I also I just had one in my mind that I was thinking of. I can't remember right now. Maybe I'll come back to it though.
Well,
We still have an entire section dedicated to that, so it can come up later.
Yeah.
as Takumi was talking to me, it's like, what animes do you think would be most like this? So my mind instantly went to like, okay, let's think of high school animes that have like action and romance.
And you thought of nothing.
I couldn't think of any.
So then you just
High
defaulted
School
to
of the
something that we'll
Dead.
bring up later.
Even though it's completely different.
Yeah, I just ended up with
That's all
a
those
funny
things.
high school anime.
Let's not bring up High School of the Dead.
No, thank
Please.
you.
Please no. Please no.
Next slide. Click.
Click.
Alright. Who's the introductory? That was where Mr. I starts off.
Mr. I. Okay, well, as I mentioned, there's three leads. I'm gonna talk about the male interest. His name is Otanashi.
You pronounced it right. Good job.
I am not good with Japanese names, as you will find out in the future. But, he doesn't have much of a personality. He doesn't have much of a storyline.
I think
But
half of that is because he didn't
yeah.
have any memories.
Yeah,
But
he
other
did
than
get,
that,
like,
he still sort of just seems like he's just
He was just
There.
along
There.
for the ride, yeah.
Basically, I'm sorry to interject during this, but basically, in my opinion, he was about as boring as a thumbtack.
Well, it seemed like it sort of feels like sometimes that it's like told in a third person point of view, except
Yeah,
the third person is Otanashi, so he's sort of like the person who just walks around and witnesses all these things, and then it's like that's why it's all put together.
And then all of a sudden,
even though he does have his own character, it's not as strong as the others.
Yeah.
some would argue non-existent, including myself, but that's personal preference kicking into play, and personal opinion does not overrule actual existence.
Well, in the second half, when they start doing the whole, like, character development thing, because
Then he gets...
he does get a backstory.
And actually, I'm going to
But-
admit, I actually did enjoy the backstory, but it just made me question, where was this type of character during the beginning half?
Because, like, the beginning half, he's just, like, questioning whether he's, like, good or bad, his morals and all that. And then his backstory, you find out which side he was on, and then it turns out he changes.
and stuff happens.
Yeah.
I should probably put spoilers maybe included in the disclaimer.
I don't know.
We haven't really spoiled anything yet. But,
Try not.
anyways, so right in the very center of that picture, there is like a purplish-haired girl with a yellow type ribbon in her hair, and her name is Yuripi, or Yuri for short. She is sort of one of those characters that's like, she's the leader, basically, of all these people, because...
Strong-willed woman.
Yeah, she's very strong-willed. I find her very sarcastic and, hard-hearted, I guess, on the outside. Cold-hearted, yeah. She's just sort of strict with a lot of stuff.
Think Haruhi from Haruhi Suzumiya.
Yeah, she's sort of like that, actually. But it's like... I don't know. Once she's... it's hard to explain her. She's like... I liked her as a character. I didn't like her as much as some others. But she was one of those characters who had such a, horrible backstory or whatever, that it made her, like...
Oh, this character had a tragic past. All of a sudden, we care about this character.
Yeah, she's sort of like one of those characters. But, I don't know. I still sort of liked her in the beginning because of her attitude, but...
Then she... Kind of like what my little side description says, the 3 lead characters don't get the development that I would have liked, but then again, you may think I'm being too harsh, because I've been through Clanad, Full Metal Alchemist, Bakano... 11 Eyes, Cowboy Bebop. No! Even without those, and comparing it to literally any other show, these characters just... They fall flat in so many ways.
Well, I mean, you don't even have to compare it to another show, because, like, the supporting cast just, like, outshines them.
Yes.
Their development.
And I don't know if this character would be considered one of the 3 main leads or a side character now I think about it, but actually, yeah, it would be considered a lead. The final lead character is Kanade, aka Angel, whom is my personal favorite of the 3 leads.
Me too. I liked her.
Woo.
She was amazing.
Honestly, if I were to talk about Kanade in depth, it would be pretty short, so I'm going to try and make it go as long as possible. Basically, Kanade is the Rei Ayaname archetype of this show, which basically means she has very little emotion at all, and is just pretty much kind of there.
Robotic, sort of,
yes.
in her facial expressions and emotions.
My eyes are buffo. Call. Anyway, not only this, but she is definitely the most dangerous character in the show, because she's able to transform her body into knives, and she has wings, and she can basically kill literally anything she wants to, if this wasn't a high school purgatory. Not only this, but this character actually does have what I think is one of the more personal tragic backstories, because while it doesn't ever get fully explained until that very end, once it does hit you, it hits about as hard as Yuripi's, in my opinion, so yeah. Personal opinion takes preference over anything, so...
Well, one of my favorite parts about the Angel is when she, like, does her little commands.
This is going to be a 30-minute review.
And it's like, Haden Sonica. And I'm like, yes.
Yes!
This is going to be a 30-minute review, mark my words.
Next
All right,
slide.
animation. Woo.
Click.
Alright, who start talking first? Chitose.
Yay. Okay, so, why did you give me this one? I know nothing of the animations.
Just go with it.
Okay,
Just go with it.
I'm going with it. Okay, so here we go. I did like the animation in this show, but it's like their face shapes sort of bothered me sometimes. They seemed like
the character design itself.
Yeah, they seemed like sort of like their faces seemed sort of too wide for some reason. Like, just on most of them. So it only came out sometimes. Sometimes they looked sort of normal, but they seemed sort of like their faces felt sort of flat sometimes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Too square.
All of their chins are the same. It's really irritating me now. It's like the
Thanks, Chitose.
I know.
Look at that.
It's like that's bothered
Bam.
me for forever.
Just-
It's bothered me ever since. But it's like I feel like they did a good job. It's a thing that I felt was could have been improved upon. So right here it says it's from the same creators of Kanan. I actually haven't seen Kanan. Trevor,
I
thanks.
have.
And so
If it helps you, they were also the same creators as Another.
Another. Oh, I love Another. Okay.
So now you have experience. Go,
Yeah.
run with it.
I honestly liked the animation in Another better than I liked the animation in Angel Beats, actually, because I loved the design of the main girl character in Another.
She has an eye patch.
Yes, she does, and
I
she
love
looks
eye patches.
super cool.
It makes
It's
them
like
mysterious and piratey.
I loved her hair and I loved her eyes, you know, even though one of them was covered up, but the other one was really cool. And yeah, she just seemed like a really strong character design.
If I can interrupt for a second, why do you have a pillow?
I like pillows. They're fluffy and support you with physical and emotional needs.
Okay, well,
Question.
anyways, I liked it, but sometimes it seemed like the animation had a lot of the same themes with all the characters also.
Yeah.
Like,
Alright, now it's my turn to talk about something in animation. This is considered to be related to Clannad and Canon and those three shows, which were made by a completely different company. So when people often try and say that this should be worthy of a spot in that Holy Trinity, it isn't, because part of that Holy Trinity is that it was also animated by the same studio. This would unfortunately not qualify in that. I say unfortunately because I really did like the show. But, however, for me personally, I have to follow the guidelines, which has been set by the community, so, yeah. And then I did my review of Gare Zero and completely shat all over that.
Shat. Okay. Well, it's my turn. Talk about the actions. Well, that's action scenes. I was gonna add that,
Jinx.
then I took out the scene, and then I realized it's just like little 5th grade
Anyway,
musical. Okay. The action scenes were actually really well done, in my opinion. I kind of liked them. It was kind of interesting.
I'm the only one who doesn't have a pillow. Why?
Because.
they don't like you. They love you.
Anyway,
though.
I mean, one of the, like, main... Oh, I guess main focus... I'm gonna put main prop was a gun. So, like, they kind of had... There were definitely a bunch of action scenes in here. And so, the fact that
first
they
scene.
did it, like, well... Yeah, the first scene, too. The fact that they did it well, or, like, took the time to focus on that, kind of helped the show, in my opinion. And it says here, fluid and outstanding, and those are very good descriptions of these action scenes. Like, especially how Angel has her, like, cool weapons with her
Yes.
hands.
Arm blades of death for the win.
And then she gets
Alright.
wings.
For the... I get to talk second about the soundtrack.
New
and just sound in
slide.
general. Yeah.
Click!
Oh, okay. Here's the dub. Okay, here's something that I actually wanted to talk about.
Oh,
Okay,
that picture.
so
I guess right!
yeah, I like talking about dubs because some of them are really good, you know, and some of them are like really, really, really sucky. This one was a pretty okay one. I sorta I admired the fact that, you know, the voices seemed to not be too over moe or whatever, however you say it, or
It's pronounced Moe.
Moe. Okay, I was pretty close. And they didn't seem like overly like gruff or like I'm Batman or something like that, you know? For like
Because that's totally Moe.
I'm Batman. Like there's like
Angel.
That would be awesome. We need to turn that into a pretty series now.
where's Angel?
That would be awesome.
But yeah, it's like some of the dubs, a lot of times it's fan dubs. I know that's not the same thing, but it's like sometimes with like, you know, actual put together, produced dubs, they have that also, and it's really, really annoying because you can't take the show seriously.
Lucky Star.
Yeah,
Lucky Star.
probably. I actually haven't seen the dub of that, but
I saw
I'm sure
episode 1 in dub.
Okay. Well, the only thing that I probably would have changed about the dub is that I noticed that they said, like, oh God a lot, or oh my God, or oh God, why is this happening? They kept saying God. It's all just like,
part of that,
use a different, like, word, or like, it doesn't, like, just, they just change it up a little bit, you know?
Part of that is the fact that I kind of noticed this when I was reflecting on my experience with Angel Beats, but it does have a lot of almost religious symbolism in it, almost. Not as much as something like, say, Evangelion, but it's still there.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I thought about this before I started talking about it. Like, hey, maybe they were just saying, oh God, a lot because it's sort of ironic, you know, considering the show and the storyline,
and how they
I guess.
try and kill an angel.
Yeah, you know, sort of
Logic.
like that. But it still bothered me that they said that all the time. Plus, Otanashi sort of sounded like this all the time. Did you notice that this is the tone of his voice all the time? And it makes me really want to hurt him, you know?
We need to make you talk about the dubs more often.
Well, yeah, that's just how he sounded to me. And then, Yuri, her voice sounded sort of like one of those, okay, now this is how this is gonna happen, and this is how this is gonna happen.
Again,
and it's like, yeah, it's like, and there are no questions about it, and la 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 la. Like, she sounded so incredibly sarcastic, and her tone of voice sort of, like, stayed the same throughout almost the whole thing. It made me sort of...
If we keep having tangents like this review is going to go half an hour.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's probably already like 25 minutes.
I'll, like, stop in a second.
It's my turn.
It's
my
turn.
turn.
I want to talk about Kanade.
No.
Fine.
Kanade is a mute robot. That's all we need to say.
She sounded like this all the time.
She's a robot. That's all we need to know.
Okay.
She's a robot. We get it. She's a robot.
And Sonica.
And Sonica.
Okay. I'm talking about the OST, which... Why did I give myself something with nothing to talk about? The OST is just there. And while it does accent really well, it's just kind of there and existent. For everything except for the band sequences by the band called Girls Dead Monster.
I liked that music, by the way.
That music was actually really, really good.
I was really
I thought
happy
that was some of the best music I have seen in the show. Second only to one particular thing, which we're going to go over right back now. Mr.
The opening! I really liked the opening. It made me sad, though, because I had forgotten all about the opening until Mr. Guy over there.
At least I call you Mr. I.
Mr. T.
Guy over there.
Mr. T. I'm sorry. What's your name?
Takumi.
Takumi! Was all like,
God.
we should do an Angel Beats review.
I'm a member of the A-team now.
And so, I, recently watched it, as in a couple hours ago. And I, fell in love with the opening, all over again. The cool, piano part, and then, the animation seems to just be better in the opening. And then it's all, the angels playing the piano, all throughout. And it's she's there throughout the whole show, and it's just aww. And...
Yeah.
I really love the music with that, and, it is in the sound category.
I also kind of want to mention something real quick. The opening does have some of the show's best animation.
Yeah.
I think you guys would agree with me in saying that it's
true.
probably second, if anything, to the action scenes.
Yeah, it's it looks so much clearer and more smooth and,
just,
so much higher definition.
It's just a lot nicer and a lot smoother around the edges. Alright. So, and now to our final thoughts.
Click.
Basically, for me, my final interpretation of Angel Beats is that I feel like the show was trying to get too much done in too short of a time period. What I think the show needed was more time to run with. A second season now would just be crap, and it would not be able to work. What the show needs in particular is just a way. It needed more in it. Unless they do the Haruhi Season 2 thing and intersplice Season 2 in Season 1 and re-air it all, I can't see a Season 2 working. But that's what the show needed, just more time. All around, I think it could have been a lot better. It's still good, and I would still say you should watch it, but it's just could have been so much better to me. And that brings us to the rating. After I have compiled all of the categories for plot, characters, animation, sound, and I just gave a random number for personal enjoyment because I tried to speak for all of us mutually.
Click.
Mr. I. Then
Mr. T over here.
I'm a member of the A-team now.
Gave it a 7.26 out of 10, which I would agree with because, I mean, it's definitely not in the 9s, and the 8s would be pushing it, and not a 10.
But it's definitely better than saying
Lot.
it should be a 6.
Yeah.
It's not bad, and it's not above average, but it's nothing incredibly spectacular, so I just personally thought that 7.26 was the best overall rating. I even did the math to prove it. You can look at the math right here if you want to.
I'm good.
Well,
Math hurts my face.
it's a lot of small writing.
Yep. This is my sheet, by the way. Alright, and Shitose has the viewing guide. That's what VG stands for.
Viewing guide?
It's right there underneath
Like,
number.
what do you mean
Remember.
viewing guide?
It's
Stream
basically okay. Let me explain what the viewing guide is for our Trinity anime reviewers thing is going to be.
Wait,
viewing guide-
excuse me. Nope. Come on.
Trinity reviews.
Takumi, okay, imprinted that in my mind. Takumi here is kind of a professional, so we're not.
I'm an amateur. I'm not gonna lie.
We will get into the habit of this, and these things will become better as time goes on. But for now, bear with
And
us.
probably less rambly.
Okay. Let me try and explain what I mean by viewing guide. By viewing guide, I mean what it's going to be. Like, how I would recommend you to watch this. Would I recommend that you watch it? Would I recommend it's high priority? Or should I say that you should just completely skip it entirely? The ratings I have for viewing guide for this are going to be crucify it, stream it, and I think I'm just going to leave it at buy it unless you guys want to have like an ultimate high. I don't care how you watch it. Just observe it now or else you will die, basically.
I should have.
You know, I would agree. You should stream it. I wouldn't say buy it because it's like, I don't know. For me, it was one of those shows where it's like you sort of watch it and then you don't really feel like rewatching it because, you know, you saw the show and after that, this sort of, the interest is still there in the show, but not, you know, so much to the point where you want to rewatch it because you already know what happens.
Yeah, for me.
Well, by
it's
that exact
definitely
same logic, you wouldn't want to buy Fullmetal Alchemist, which I gave the rating of official intel on my personal channel, but hey.
Well, it depends on how much you love it. If you, like, really loved it and you personally thought that you were, like, going to rewatch it and rewatch it again and again.
Fullmetal got a 9.68. Haven't rewatched it at all.
Huh.
Well, like.
I've just punched a million holes into your logic.
Yeah, you
Come
did.
at me.
I don't know. If something's, like, really good and you, like, for me,
Okay,
you see,
we'll just leave it at stream it. Let's leave it at stream it.
Yeah,
Instead of
just stream it.
No more rambling.
No more rambling. I have an issue with that.
However, I'm going to say this now. If you did like this show enough that you do, for some reason, want to buy it, or if it's part of your moral code, like some people I know, then you can, because it has been licensed for streaming by Sentai Filmworks, and I believe it's still available on Netflix, right? Let's just say it's on Netflix.
I think so.
Let's just say it's on Netflix. And now for alternate anime recommendations. Let's just go in order that I have it here. Ignore the sheet for now.
Mr. T.
For me, I decided that if you really enjoyed Angel Beats, let's go with something from the exact same year called Chrome Shell Doritos. You no longer exist, Mr. I. What now?
Oh no!
Okay.
I've been banished.
Okay, so the reason I'm saying Chrome Shell Doritos is because it does share a lot of aspects with Angel Beats. It has a lot of really good action scenes, a lot of really good comedy, some dashes of romance here and there, and all around both are revolving around a academy-esque setting. I almost fell. I almost
did
fell.
fall. You just caught yourself.
Should have had a pillow.
Anyway. And they both are kind of a tale about banishment in a sense. So, and I say that Chrome Shell Regis, even though it's vastly superior, I say that it's worth observing if you liked Angel Beats a lot. For Shitose, yoo-hoo, Shitose! Why are you folding the password?
I am making a swan, okay?
But you're doing it on the password.
Let's just.
It's not. Let's just. Okay, just. I'll unfold it later.
Ramble.
So I was gonna say, Sword Art Online, because honestly, that's like a really good show. Like I saw the first episode, it made me like want to cry because it was so amazing.
You already watched
Not
the best
literally.
of the show.
What?
You already watched the best of the show.
Oh yeah, most likely. But it's like I'm on like episode 14 or 15 now.
15? Oh, then you've already. Yeah, you're almost.
Halfway done.
Yeah, and you really, now you're just about to go through the absolute chaos that is season 2. Good luck!
Okay. Yeah, thanks. But anyways, it has like a lot of good action. I really like that it has to do with video games and things because, you know,
We're all gamers.
I love video games. They're so amazing and
For
fun.
you, it's Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I'm in love with Final Fantasy, guys.
For me, Chrono Trigger.
I love Final Fantasy, but it's Mario games. It's like Mario Party, to be specific. That's my jam.
We need to go over to your house and play Mario Party.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, we do.
And we could just be all like,
No, we could
anime
just-
review, Mario Party.
Yeah! Alright. And anyway, for you, Mr. I, what was your recommendation that you just texted me
Well,
about last night?
out of the variety of anime I've seen, hint sarcasm, I
And it
chose
has a large amount of variety. What are you talking about?
Odon High School Host Club because, well, I mean, I gave my reasons. High school, it's funny. There's romance. That's kind of like,
I did a review on Oron. The romance in
You
Oron takes
did.
higher priority.
yeah.
Mhm.
But anyway, yeah.
Can
Fun
I-
fact: this
You know
guy
what? Wait.
is Edward Elric secretly
Secretly in disguise.
in the dub, and this guy is
He's wearing
secretly
stilts.
Sebastian McAllis
Wait.
in the dub also.
Oh my, that is J. Michael Tatum. I knew I recognized that voice actor.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh,
Okay,
guys!
wait.
And Honey is Wrath. Did you know that?
Oh my,
Oh my
no, wait,
God,
no,
he's
honey,
not.
no, wait,
He
no,
is.
no.
He
is
sounds
not.
exactly
He's not.
like him,
He's
though.
not. Honey was voiced by Lucy Christian, the same actress
Was it?
as Nagisa Furukawa and
She was in
Nami
Angel
in One
Beats.
Piece.
She was in Angel Beats.
Lucy
We-
Christian?
Yeah, she was. She was. Nope, wrong one. She was that girl. She was the main singer in the band.
Oh!
before
Oh,
she got
that's right. I remember
obliterated.
that on Wikipedia. Oh my god. Well, and
Well, anyway, she
I'll
sounds
just-
exactly like
now
Wrath.
to what I want to say real quick, just before we end this. All of 3 of these shows did score higher than Angel Beats. Keep that in mind. Even with the atrocity that is season 2 of SAO. Keep that in mind.
Keep it in mind.
In mind.
Alright, so this has been
Ciao.
me, Takumi, from, well, you know. Person, say your
I've
name.
been Islanzity.
Or Mr.
Malachi.
I. And this has been Chitose Mizu. Woo!
You know, I might just become Mr. I, and then my like symbol can be some like anime eye
It
that
can just
she
be...
draws.
You know, I
That'd be
figured
great.
out that
That'd be
Chitose
perfect.
Mizu, actually Chitose, I think this was it. I looked it up and
Bye,
he's like-
guys!
Oh, bye!